Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Red Rock Chess. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you guys are new to chess, one of the hardest things to do is obtain a brilliant move. Whether you have played 1 day, 1 year, or 10 years, you guys know how hard it is to get Stockfish, the engine, to deem any move brilliant. So we are going to be analyzing a game where one player got 4 brilliant moves in a row. And that is a really good accomplishment, and I want to show you guys how it was done and how this player ended up winning the game. If you guys are new to chess, make sure to like and subscribe. That way we can help grow the game of chess, and it really helps me out personally, so please make sure to do that and drop down in the comment section down below what you guys want to be learning next. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, this game of chess is played between two players with over 3,000 level elo. The first playing with white is Alexei Sarana. And please do not hate me if I butcher these names. And the black pieces is Alexander Rustumov. And these players are going to be playing what's the Queen's Gambit declined variation. So it starts off with the move Queen to d4, and then it is played Queen d5 to counter. What this is right here is it's flanking the c pawn in order to cause what's called a gambit, the Queen's Gambit. There is a movie on it on Netflix called The Queen's Gambit, very, very popular movie. The reason why this is a really good move is it allows white to capture both the center right here with these pawns, and then it also is looking at recapturing this pawn right here on the next move, bringing the knights out, and then castling like that. That's not what happens in the game. In the game, what happens is the declined variation, which is where black does not decide to take, and at the very high level elo, you'll see a lot of declined variations. When you're very new to chess, I would suggest not accepting the Queen's Gambit. It is a lot more in favor of white if you really don't know how to play. With that said, white decides to move their knight into the game with c3, knight c3. The reason for this move is that it's still applying some pressure right here on this pawn right here, and if takes, then there is just the opportunity to come and take. So what black decides to do is they bring out their bishop right here. It is a really strong positional move where white decides to bring out their other knight. And the next move that is made in this is knight to f6. And the reason why this is a really strong move is it allows black to be castling, so you'll see the opportunity for like white to bring out their bishop. You could see that there's opportunities to move like just right here as well, and that's exactly what white does. They move their knight or their bishop to f4, and the reason for this is that there's just opportunities for white to just create some strong attacks on the king side. You could just also look at pushing this h-file pawn, and black just castles. It's just a very strong positional move that a lot of high-level players like to make within the first 10 moves of the game. It's just castling. And this pawn move right here is to create a strong chain link of pawns right here. He could even look at doing a 4-link pawn right here, which you'll see a lot in chess, creating a strong structure. He could look at eventually pushing this pawn. What strikes me the most about this position right here is how solid of a position this is after 6 moves in the game. So this is where the first blunder happens for black, and that is the move takes right here. The reason why it's not a great move is that there's a lot of development that still needs to be made right here for white, and taking in the center allows white to be pushing their pawn up. It allows them to get their pieces more involved in the game, and that is exactly what happens. The white bishop just gets to take, allowing castling to happen, allowing white to bring out their queen, stuff like that. And this is where c5 is played in the game, and it's a good move. The reason for it is it's asking white to take this pawn right here, and it's just trading off the pieces. This is the best move according to the engine, just where you take, and in this case, instead of that, white just decides to castle, and black pushes their pawn out, which is a slight inaccuracy. The thought process of black right here in this position is just to kick out the bishop and hopefully just put it in a square that is putting black in favor, and then just eventually just bringing the pieces out, or even just bringing the squares that just could eventually use it in a better place. And this is where another inaccuracy happens right here on white side. They missed the opportunity to advance the d pawn, which is not the worst thing, but they could have looked at a better opportunity right here. And this is where this is taken right here, captured back. The best thing to do is just recapture back in this situation, and that's exactly what happens. Taking back is one of the better moves for white. And the next couple moves are going to be very standard moves. What black really needs to start doing is start to develop their pieces. You can see that white has their pieces in the most optimal square. They're fighting for the center of the board. So the next couple moves are just going to be bringing the rook out, bringing the queen up, starting to create some threats on this king right here, and black brings their knight into the game. Very strong positional move. Black brings their rook into the game. The reason for this is just it's a more open file, so it's a lot better for this rook to be here than to stuck. It's not defending anything per se, because nothing is attacking this right here, and it traps the king into a place where he can't really escape unless he were to open this pawn or have this rook shifted. And this right here is a good move. The reason why it's not an insanely good move is because there was better opportunities, such as like moving this queen to like b6 right here, and the idea behind it is just to put some strong pressure on this d4 pawn right there. But the opportunity that black is looking for right here is he's threatening the opportunity to eventually bring this in, ever given the situation right here. So white puts their knight into the center of the board. A very, very strong move. The reasoning behind this move is just for the opportunity to eventually bring out the queen when possible, bring back the bishop maybe, and just start attacking the king and putting him in a vulnerable situation. This pawn move right here is a good move. The idea behind it is just to bring out the bishop. The reason why it's not the most ideal move, again, is because it's just too passive. He needs to be creating some more threats towards white and starting to like attack right here. And if he were to take this somehow, by any means, this won't be defended. So a good opportunity for black could have been to move their queen right here, eventually like creating some threats right here. So good opportunity was missed, but then again, they don't have this evaluation bar in the game. You got to remember that. They are playing timed chess. This is 3 minutes on the clock, no additional time. It's kind of fast paced, so you can't blame them for playing the way they did. They played phenomenal for the amount of time was given. This right here, this queen was moved to this position for the exact same reason, just for the opportunity to eventually just either bring the bishop back and just create a long diagonal threat. This queen right here is just looking at attacking the king. This rook move right here has the idea of eventually just being able to bring this right here to attack. This was right here primarily to attack the rook, and he can't really defend this way because then it would just get taken right there. So not a smart move, so that's not what happened. And now he's got both rooks attacking the E and D file. This is one of the best squares, and black makes an interesting move right here. The move that is made right here is the move bishop b7. This is just to attack the king on the diagonal, and the queen shifts over, and this is where the game starts to turn. This is where white starts to uncover brilliant moves back to back. The next 4 moves for white will be all brilliant moves, and black right here decides to make the move knight to c2. The reason why this is considered a blunder, even though you may be thinking that there's nothing to capture right now, there's nothing to be able to take this knight right here, and this is threatening a rook. So why would it be considered a blunder? And the reason for that is because of bishop to d3. And this is brilliant move. Sorry, this is not the move that was made during the game. This right here, is brought to this square right here, where it is starting to attack the opponents, and this is what happens right here. He brings the knight back right here to start attacking this rook right here, and this right here is a brilliant move. The reason for that is you may be thinking, well, can't he just take it right here? And you'd be absolutely right. And that is what happens in the game. But the reason why it's such a brilliant move is because of knight to g5. And this is brilliant move number 2. This could easily be taken right here, but then there is just mate in 1 waiting to happen. And so after this move, black has to be really careful, because this knight can be taken at any time, at any point. It is even allowing black to recapture this right here. But if you were to recapture, it's the same thing. It's checkmate in 1. So black decides to push their pawn out right here. It's a strong positional move, and it's attacking this right here, and it doesn't allow him to take. If, say, he captures back and this right here just were to happen, there is mate in 1, but these guys are too smart for that. So this is where bishop to h7 check comes in. And this is brilliant number move 3 in a row, mind you guys. And the reason why this is a brilliant move is because it forces the king to only have 1 square to move to, and that's this square right here. And that's where this move comes into play right here. This is another really, really strong positional move, and the reason for that is it's checkmate unless he were to take, and that's the only move. So he is forced to take this right here, and that's where this is taken back. It puts the king in check, and he has nothing available but to take the bishop. That is the only available move. The next move for white is just to take the queen. And this is where white is starting to find the advantage. They are up 4 points of material, and black is starting to come to a scramble. This is a tactic right here where it takes the pawn, where eventually it's going to cause some problems, where he can look at some discovered attacks eventually, like say like the king were to ever slide over. So in this case, takes and take, and say this king were to slide over for absolutely any reason. This right here is just a check right here, or you can take this back right there, or even just take it straight back with the knight. So it's just a really strong move to take it with this knight right here, because it just creates some threats with this bishop on the diagonal in the future. But white is 3,200. They're not going to be making that kind of mistake. When they take back, this knight is recaptured right here, and white is up 3 points of material. They're looking to close out the game in style, and this is where a check is delivered right here. The reason for this check is that it just forces black to put themselves on the back rank right here, and they did a good job. They moved their king to a safe square, because if they moved it to this square right here, this is where you could just take right here with check, and then you're eventually looking at recapturing this right here. So just very, very strong move to put that king in a safe square like that. This pawn is still captured. What that means, this is protected right there, so not taking that, but eventually looking at like opportunities to put their king on the back rank right there. And this move right here, it's a good move, but it's supposed to try and attack this right here, but they missed rook to c1. And the reason why this is such a strong move is it's just threatening the king right here, and there's not much that they can do. And this move right here is smart, but they forgot that he can just take. There's nothing stopping him from taking pawns. Now he's up 5 points of material. He's threatening this right here. He's threatening to take it with check as well and just take it back like that. And this is where he forgets that this rook right here, when it moves over like that, it is now not protecting this bishop. So what that means is the queen can give a check and take that bishop. And this is exactly where black resigns the game. And I want you guys to definitely be on the lookout for these opportunities right here where you can just where you guys can just be winning your games off of tactics like these. And if you guys are new to chess and you guys still want to learn, please make sure to like this video and subscribe. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching.